So guys, today I'm going to run you through a upper body session, predominantly chest. A little bit of a history behind this. I've always had problems activating my chest, especially my right pectoral, down to a slightly forwardly rotated humerus in the glenohumeral joint, so it's in the shoulder, slightly forward rotated shoulder. You have trouble building mass on your chest. Things like, for example, you've got big shoulders, big chest, big traps. They sometimes can take over mainly in the kind of big compound moves you do, things like bench, incline bench, heavy dumbbell press. If you don't focus on form enough and you don't focus on activation, you will not get that growth, specific growth, isolated growth in the certain areas you want, which is your chest. Everyone wants a big chest, right guys? So what I'm going to teach you today is things like incorporating stretch reflex, lowering the weight, focusing on mind-muscle connection, priming the muscle tissue before you take it into these compounds, all these kind of things that I use and I have done for quite a while and enabled myself to put on mass in my chest. So guys, down here at Ultimate Fitness Birmingham, it's a fucking wicked gym. Trained here before, so I'm really happy to be back here. Let's go get it done. And guys, I hope you get something from this. So as you can see guys, we started off with 3 stretch elements to the pectoral muscles for flies. We started off with Pelican Flys. So these are enabling you to get more volume, more time and attention on your pectorals with a lighter load. You want to go pretty light on these. They work on the natural movement of pectoral fibers, which goes up and around through contracting elements to bring them back into the chest. It just enables you to isolate the chest. That's why you want to come with quite a light weight. We then moved on to a pronated cable crossover, so cable flies. Again, you're just aiming, because you've got the arm pronated, you're aiming for the upper fibers and to contract right through the breastplate. So you're drawing in, again, the main focus has to be on keeping the shoulder locked down into the position and focusing on your chest. That mind-muscle connection has to be there for all these exercises. And these are done quite light. You're looking around about 12 to 15, 12 to 20 reps, whatever you feel, just to get, again, you're getting blood into the tissue, you're getting glycogen stores hit up. You're also getting kind of that muscular pump, that engagement, that mind-muscle connection that I talk about quite a bit. We then move on to standing cable crossover flies. So again, these are just enabling you to get a little bit more of that contraction phase when you draw into the middle. Again, you want to go with a lighter weight. You want to pause each. You want to pause at the stretch, pause the contraction, and again focus on that mind-muscle connection. Focus on that slightly lighter load to enable this, so you're not overloading on other kind of muscle fibers. And then after that we move on to the compound. So the compound today, the main compound was bench press. Once you've activated them, now don't be surprised guys if you are doing this that you're not unable to do your 1RM. You don't feel you can lift as heavy. You have almost like pre-fatigued your chest muscles by doing your primer stuff, the previous 3 exercises. So you want to run through about 2 to 3 sets of these each. Before we come to the bench, I'd say you drop down, say for example you're doing around about 10 to 12 reps, you probably want to drop down maybe 15% of what you normally do to be an adequate load to enable you to, because we are adding a pause element into this as well. We pause at contraction, pause at stretch. So once you draw the bar down for a 3-second eccentric, you want to pause for around about 2 seconds, so the bar is literally just above your chest, and then it enables you to lock your lats in, enable you like squeezing an orange between your shoulder blades and driving through the triceps and through the lats to enable you to get a better response through your pectorals. So then we move on to our volume exercises. So we're looking at time and attention. We're also looking at loading these up to the point where you're failing around about the 4th or 5th set at around about 10 to 12 repetitions. So we started off this one with seated incline chest press. Again, if you notice on this one, I don't come all the way up to extension. I actually keep the chest under load, so I want to draw too much of the traps, too much of the anterior delts in. So I always locking my shoulder blades back as if I was squeezing an orange between my shoulder blades, actively opening the chest up, opening the breastplate up, and enabling that full stretch at the base, all the way down, drive up and only coming to the elbows almost at point of lockout, okay? At that point, I drop straight back down in. Keeping the muscle under tension, keeping the chest under contraction, and working through so you get a lot of muscle fibers driving through in that exercise. The last chest exercise we do today was incline chest flies, okay? So this was, again, using the cables. I find that's better than dumbbells in terms of getting engagement, because again, you've got to weigh up between stability and form and load when you're choosing between dumbbells and cables. Cables is a more set pattern, so a more set form, so therefore you're going to be able to get better contraction again, but you won't get the stability aspect of it. But that's fine, and this is fine because it's the last exercise of the day. We're just using it for increased time and attention, increased volume. So this is where, again, you're locking down, pause at stretch, pause at contraction, don't come all the way up, just focus on that mind-muscle connection, squeezing the chest at the top, and making sure it's switched on. Again, you're not going to be able to lift super heavy on this exercise. It's more about adding that slightly lighter version and just creating more time and tension of the chest during the session, so therefore increasing the total volume of the workout on your chest. Okay, we then go on to triceps. A lot of people, again, find their anterior delts and their traps get involved and take over when they're doing tricep exercises. You see guys loading up the plate, loading up the cables and drawing through their traps, drawing through, and not actually eliciting much tricep activation. So today I started off with a great exercise. It's actually reverse facing tricep straight bar cable pushdowns. So if you see, I'm facing away from the cables. I'm on an incline bench. The cable is literally drawing down, the straight bar is drawing down. This enables me to lock my elbows in position and decrease any kind of trap and deltoid activation that's normally elicited from standing straight up and driving down. So it cuts the shoulder activation out, enables you to focus straight on your triceps. You should give it a go. It's a very good exercise to prime up, and you can go loaded on this one. You can go heavier on this one and still get great tricep activation. I then moved on to overhead. V-bar, tricep extensions. Again, it's a great stretch element in this. You get a great stretch reflex from this. Standing, drawing yourself up with a V-bar, you get a maximum stretch in your triceps because you're not only in that position with elbow flexion, you're also in shoulder flexion as well. So you've got 2 points of flexion through there, enables you to get greater stretch response. And if you do it right, if you control the movement, you'll get great activation of the triceps. I then moved into single arm tricep kickbacks. Again, one of my favorite exercises. I don't see it done well a lot of the time. Remember, there are two branches to your, there are three branches to your triceps, but in terms of when you're doing a tricep kickback, it's actually working. So there are two movements. You're not only doing elbow extension, you're also doing shoulder extension as well. So there's two movements to that. A lot of people get this wrong. So focus on the elbow extension, which is going to elicit the short head of the fibers, and the drive back shoulder extension, which is going to elicit the last two heads of the triceps. I then moved on back into a double-handed cables, standing outward press. Again, a very isolated exercise. A little bit more, it's going to get a lot more activation because you can enable shoulder, you can draw your shoulder blades together through here, stabilize your shoulder girdles, stabilize your scapulas, and enable better tricep activation in this. It's a great exercise, this one. So guys, you give that one a try. The last tricep exercise we do, actually the second to last, was a single arm twist extension, tricep extension. Lying down, you're basically drawing if you think about where your palm is, we're starting out through here, we're drawing all the way around, locking through all ranges of motions on the triceps and drawing it out to extension. Again, don't go too heavy on this, you probably will fatigue fairly quickly. So the exercise should be, I say fairly light, probably 20% less than what you actually think you can do. And again, you're focusing on each individual tricep activation in this exercise. And I finish up on the volume, where I just rep it out to max failure for 3 sets on seated triceps. Again, this is just a machine-based exercise, enables you to lock yourself in. You can pretty much, if you're not getting full activation in your triceps here, you're doing something wrong because it's set up and you're sat in position to make sure you're getting maximum tricep activation. So this is my volume exercise. I did 3 sets of 12 to 15 and just kept on pounding. I only had around about 25 to 30 seconds break in between. And that's where I finished it, guys. Okay guys, that is the session done. Upper body, predominantly chest session done here down at Ultimate Fitness Birmingham. We've got serious pump going on, feeling pretty good. It was a great session. So guys, have a check through. You see the voice, you hear the voiceovers, you see kind of how I construct my chest session. As I said before, with not previously being able to properly contract my chest, not getting enough stimulus to my chest, to my pectoral muscles and to my fibers, therefore not engaging and not eliciting a response like hypertrophy, I've had to adapt this into my program. So guys, if you have problematic, if you don't find you can build on your chest, but you're still hitting the volume, you're still hitting the intensity in the sessions, I hope this is going to help you. Yeah, I hope this is going to help you. Let me know your feedback. Comment below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tom Brazier. Hit me up on Instagram, TB Conditioning. And yeah, I hope you get something with these guys. Let me know.